Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, to John Nolan here. Mr. Frank Jacob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to see you, John. Good to be here.
So we're going to do a Q&A. We have a lot of people that are coming on and have questions for you. Jason says, any info on the great solar flash? Side note, there's a clip where Trump even talks about a great flash that is to come.
Well, I mean, the information about the flash is stuff that actually was covered. I'd covered that in A Tale of Two Timelines. It has to do with the fact that they've registered energy coming from the center of our galaxy in levels never before witnessed or never before picked up on their instruments. So there is this undeniable influx of cosmic energy, rays, particles, things that we know have a certain frequency and a certain resonance. And the thing is, we also have something else going on. And we also talked about that. We talked about the magnetosphere and the impending magnetic pole shift on the planet. That has to do with the fact that the Earth's magnetosphere has been diminishing and diminishing. And this causes, of course, more of these particles to reach us like never before. So what I try to make people understand is that there's never been a better time for you to utilize this energy. Okay, we have to assume that if there is this great creator force out there, which is giving us that there's no accidents in the cosmos, that these things all seem to be kind of coincidentally perfect for certain things like the evolution of the human species, then it's pointless to think in terms of them as being negative or affecting us negatively. Yeah, you could say that more of these charged particles could affect us negatively, but maybe through the way our frequency alters when we begin to meditate on and think about and open ourselves up to higher density, higher frequency thoughts, then we aren't maybe necessarily as affected by these negative things as before. So the time right now has never been better for us to utilize this influx from the cosmos to visualize, to energize us, and to think about what we would actually like our world to look like, to think about things that we would see out there in the world that would be happening if the new world, the new timeline, were actually manifesting. And I think the more of us that do that, the more we actually anchor in that frequency. So if there's going to be a flash, I mean, there's lots of talk about actual like a micronova, that our sun has this periodic thing that happens and that we're long overdue. Yes, all these things could happen. And if they're going to be the negative version, that they're going to come burn the planet, it doesn't matter what you think, honestly. You're going to be gone, right? In a flash, really. But if they're positive, then they're going to come and they're going to change us on a genome level. You know, we have an amazing interview we did with Dr. Michael Persinger in that film Solar Revolution, where he talks about how what it takes to actually make a change in the human genome. And he talks about how in the past, he gives a few examples how speech and, you know, voice and talking and language arose all around the planet simultaneously. It can only have something to do with the magnetosphere, which all of us are connected to. So we are, you know, in flux with the planet and with the cosmos. And so it's clear that there's something brewing, something is about to happen. But I think to put a date on it and a time on it is kind of pointless, because nobody's ever pulled that one off, really. Every time someone says a date, you know, usually it doesn't happen. But we can kind of look at a window around 2030, because yes, NASA actually substantiated what we put in that film about this explosion when this plasma cloud got pulled into the center of Sagittarius A, the black hole at the center of our galaxy, and released these massive energy waves. The scalar wave of that energy is already with us at 150 megahertz. So we're already deeply in it. But there's also the matter, the the actual energy of that wave. And it happened 26,000 years ago. They finally, you know, came out with it. And guess when it's sort of destined to slam into our planet? By coincidence, it's going to hit us around that same window of time between, you know, 2030, 2028 to 2032. So there's a lot of stuff coming. And I think the best thing we can do is prepare ourselves mentally for some freak show stuff, really, like some stuff that's going to happen that's really going to be Yeah, revolutionary is a mild way of putting it.
But Frank, there's one thing, and that is always connected to questions like these. People go, "Oh, there's always something happening," and then it's never happened. It never happens. And I always go, "What do you mean? Look at the world. Compare it to the world 10 years ago. Compare it to the world 5 years ago, 3 years ago. We are in a complete state of transformation. So to me, this is happening." And I don't know about you, but I go out this morning. I went out. I went for a walk very early with our 13-year-old Golden. It's a slow walk. Okay. He's taking it easy, the old guy. And we went through a walk, and I went outside and I looked at the sky and I was like, wow, there's something happened overnight. There's a different energy here today. Something was cleared up, right? And these things continually happen. People heal. People that are now tapping into this higher vibration and higher consciousness that are actually, like you say, anchoring that in. They're having amazing experiences, synchronicities, everything's falling into place, versus the others who are on that dystopian artificial timeline. It gets worse and worse and worse. So it is happening. There's no doubt about it. Next question from our dear friend